So before I move on to today's episode, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the views. MisterMarketing. Today we're talking about identity, not latching your identity to another human being. Now a little bit later in the video we'll cover other celebrities, but I want to make a brief comment about my previous video. You know, the one about Andrew Tate.
What? It's just an ordinary... Oh my goodness!
I'm not gonna lie, that shit blew up. But given the nature of the video, specifically that I was calling out both Andrew Tate and his supporters, kind of what you'd expect. From a marketing perspective, outrage is nothing but good business.
27 heartbeats.
Because thinking about this from a marketing perspective, if you have some people that are outraged over a video, what are they gonna do? They're gonna comment, they're gonna share the video, they're gonna talk about the video, they're gonna talk about the video with their friends. When people say there's no such thing as bad publicity, this is one of those examples. But transitioning out of the marketing side of things, and more into a content creator kind of take. Were any of the comments valid? Not really. Because even moving past the comment that I pinned, to address some of the regular, quite candidly piss poor excuses for Andrew Tate's behavior, most of the comments were just crying from Andrew Tate fans. There was nothing to go off of. I mean, really, take a look. One commenter says, "Grow some hair, bro, not gonna lie, you gotta have some game. If I could grow hair, I would, man." And some of the comments straight up prove my point for me. One commenter says, "You know this makes you sound weak as hell, and you think defending women will make them attracted to you, but it won't." My response to that is, depends on the woman. Like, you do understand that women are people, and different people want different things. Oh, it does. I'd choose this man over that clown Tate any day. And another commenter says, "Good luck then. LOL, cause Tate wouldn't touch you with a stick." Do you see my point? Just the absolute disconnect that presumably a woman is saying, yes, I would prefer that. And then the response from the other commenters is, "Oh, well, that's only because there's no logical consistency. It's just shaming language." And don't get it twisted. If someone needs to be shamed, shaming them is not necessarily a bad thing. But if it's at the expense of logic and it's just to make you feel better, then yes. It's baseless. And we'll be digging into this in the second part of the video. That really, this is not for Andrew Tate fans. Those people are well beyond help. But if you're outside that bubble, you gotta think, do I do this sometimes? Do I latch myself to a personality and then just make a bunch of miserable excuses defending them? Because if they look stupid doing this, you look stupid doing this. Another comment, found the incel, to which I responded, "If you have feedback, I'm all ears." And then this comment is just weird. Calling them incel is just reversing the same reaction. What the hell does that even mean? Hey Siri, the hell does that even mean?
He's trying to say that by calling someone else an incel, that you are an incel. Essentially, he's using the "I know what you are but what am I" response.
Okay, well let's continue. When we look at the video clearly, we can see she wants it just in lingerie. She said, "Next time hit me like a real man." Oh God, I know the video he's talking about. Here's the problem, that's not the same woman in that video. But that's the whole point of making excuses. It doesn't matter if what they're saying is true or not. They just need to say something in order to feel like they're defending Andrew Tate, which, as a direct result, feels like they're defending themselves. Like, I could keep going on with the comments, but there's really no point. The summarized version of the comment section is pretty much this. In the cup. So before I move on to today's episode, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the views. But you know, the whole Andrew Tate thing is reminiscent of a lot bigger fanboyism. Politics. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that political discussions are usually close to pointless. And one of the major reasons of that is the in-group bias. Essentially, because you belong to a team, you're just going to believe whatever that team believes. This bias could have been rather useful back in the hunter-gatherer days, because really, as long as you have any excuse to take from the other group and give to your own, as long as your group survived, you were better off for it, materially speaking, anyway. But we really don't live in that kind of world for the most part anymore. Do wars happen? Yes, of course they do. But in average day-to-day life, you ain't gotta fight a rival group for food and shelter. It's a lot more civilized now. You sign an agreement for housing, you go to the grocery store for food, etc., etc. But worse than for the most part not being that useful anymore, it directly works against your point a lot of the time. Because say in politics, it really doesn't matter which camp you're part of. Doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or anything in between. If you're trying to talk about how to best lead the country, you're gonna have to get out of the in-group bias that your party is the party of right, and that your party, especially in opposition to another party, can never be wrong, and the other party just needs to wake the hell up and get with the program. No, sometimes you and your party are wrong. And the reason is simple. Even if you are deeply connected to the tenets of your political party is staffed with imperfect people. So by its very nature, the party or the person you attach yourself to is not going to be right all the time. A common objection to this is people saying, well, if I admit that I'm wrong, then people will be less inclined to listen to me later. Here's a question, especially in the realm of politics. The vast majority of the time, if someone thinks you're wrong, whether you're right or wrong, you belong to the other group. So unfortunately, it's very common for that person in the other group to just think you're wrong no matter what. So not wanting to look wrong in the eyes of people that already think that you're wrong is kind of pointless. What's not pointless is you being able to remove yourself from your own bias just a little bit and to be able to come to your own conclusions, not your group's conclusions. A little bit of critical thinking and a little bit of independent thought goes a long way. And this is something that can apply to any concept in life. Say you're with your friends, and your friends think you should do something stupid. You can either give in to peer pressure and suffer the consequences of said stupid action, or you can exercise independent, critical thinking and not partake in that stupid action, and therefore not reap the consequences of a stupid decision. The philosopher Nietzsche said it beautifully. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened, but no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Mr. Marketing. See you next time.